Become a channel member and support the content. You also get access to exclusive videos. You'll get an emote next to your name in the comments. The link for that can be found next to the subscribe button or in the description. And if you'd rather get your coins direct rather than roll the dice with FIFA points, head to u7buy.com and at checkout use the code TVM for a discount. The link can be found down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new player review. We have the mid-season player, which is arguably better than the end season, if that's what it's called, players, and that is Duncan, 83. There were two other options, of course, but unless you've got a team that specifically matches what one of those would sort of slot into, I think most people are going to just choose Duncan, mainly because he's very well rounded. For an 83 rated card, I mean, he's already an 86 rated CDM if you add up all the stats and do the calculations. So if you give him any sort of defensive chem style, he's going to go above 90 for that position, which for a free card who is 83 rated, you can't really go wrong. You've got 88 acceleration, 79 sprint speed, 99 shot power, 93 long shots, 81 positioning, which of course is as attacking, so it's not really that big a deal because most of us are going to use this card either as a CDM or a box-to-box midfielder who is probably more inclined to defend than attack. 89 short passing, 85 long passing. I've given him a powerhouse chem style, as you can see, and now he has 95 long passing, 99 short passing, and 90 vision with 87 crossing. Reason I went for that is I like to, when I'm playing with cards in objectives, I like to do things I wouldn't normally do in terms of foot champs and division rivals. So in those game modes, the quote-unquote competitive game modes, I like to, you know, keep it nice and safe, nice and simple, do what I know works. But in objectives, I like to be a little bit more adventurous. If something I try doesn't come off, guess what? Doesn't matter because it's only a friendly and doesn't actually count towards anything. So I like to try and play long balls a little bit more, like to try and lob it over the top and just play it from deep, really. And you'll see evidence of that with Duncan. And with 95 long passing and 90 vision, you're going to be able to not rake balls like Steven Gerrard-esque, but you are definitely going to be able to play the odd long pass to some degree of success. And we do with Duncan as well. So I would say low to mid 80s for dribbling stats. You know, 87 composure, 83 ball control, 88 reactions. We've got 99 stand tackle, 88 defensive awareness, and 99 interceptions. Decent physicals as well. It's a shame that the stamina is a little bit on the lower side. And I say that, he does have 84 stamina, right? So I'm fully aware that that isn't low. That's fine. But for a CDM or more of a box-to-box-esque player, 84 stamina isn't going to be enough. For a game where you need to rely on your CDMs to defend more than your centre-backs, because it's the only logical way to defend is to control your CDMs until you absolutely have to control the centre-backs, you're going to use a lot of stamina. So, and I know this firsthand from using Blanc, who doesn't have particularly great stamina. In fact, I'm going to double-check to see how much stamina Blanc has, because I use Blanc as my CDM, right? And he has 86 stamina, and he needs to be subbed off most games, whereas Duncan has 84. So, I mean, how many of us are going to complete this, or rather, you know, get to the mid-season point, pick this card up, and then not expect to have to sub him out in a foot champs or a division rivals game? You're not really looking to put an 83 rated player in your most competitive team, I'm sure. This card on paper, though, with a powerhouse in particular, I mean, of course, there's Shadow and there's Anchor and all the rest of it, but with a powerhouse, which is what I wanted because of the passing, he does turn into a 92 rated CDM. If you gave him the Anchor, it's only a 90 rated CDM, but he does turn into a 92 rated centre-back, high defensive work rate as well, could definitely work as a centre-back. He's only 5'10", but nobody crosses in this game, or at least nobody crosses to the head. You know, some people do put crosses into the box, but they're sort of like low-driven-esque passes, so you can definitely cope with that. His passing in general is very good, and as we progress through the review, got a little bit more confident, maybe a little bit more adventurous in places, and I was actually trying to play the ball out from the back. When it comes to interceptions, defending, stand tackle, and so on, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that you can't get better. This is the best. I mean, look at that for a pass. I mean, he ends up coming back to him because I have no option because you can't cross in this game. But still, fantastic ball out to Figo. And were that, you know, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Maradona, even Messi, I would have tried to run into the penalty area with Figo there. But Figo, for me, isn't the type of player I can do that with confidently. Or even if I had Rashford out there, actually, I probably would have tried to do it. But Duncan's defensive capabilities are good. They're not the best I've used this FIFA. They're not Kante. They're not even, Blanc, for example. But they are still very good. And of course, an anchor chem style turns him into a bit of a powerhouse, if you'd pardon the pun of not using that chem style. But 99 stand tackle, 96 slide tackle, 88 defensive awareness. That's where you need to boost, in my opinion. And that's where the powerhouse and the anchor sort of falls short. They only give 5 defensive awareness. When it comes to like the Sentinel, for example, you get that boost of strength and you also get a 10 boost in defensive awareness. EA have said themselves, or at least a dev has said this at one point, that the defensive awareness stat is very important when it comes to CDMs and, of course, things like centre-backs and such for AI-controlled reasons. They're going to need to be in the right place at the right time, and their positioning needs to be spot on, and defensive awareness is what will dictate that, right? So Guardian boosts his defensive awareness up to 93. Also gives other defensive stats a massive boost. He then gets a dribbling boost, a ball control boost, and a balance boost. The Sentinel gives him that defensive awareness of plus 10. Also improves the heading, interceptions up to 99, and the strength, jumping, and aggression, which means he's going to be fantastic in the air. 99 jumping and 92 heading accuracy. Unfortunately, there's not really going to be an instance where he needs to head the ball. That is a great pass over the top to Figo. A little bit broken. Doesn't work all the time, but fantastic ball over the top. And again here from Duncan, looking for it, waiting for it, plays it over the top. Figo once more on the end of it, keeps it in, but not only keeps it in, gets into the penalty area, does his man with a little whatever the hell that was, plays it back to Maradona, who is not going to be outdone in the box, and scores a great goal. This card is one of those you'll probably unlock regardless of whether you want to or not. You'll just end up doing it. Even if you don't play that much FIFA, you'll reach the mid-season point, I'm sure. Even if you have to maybe focus on doing bronze 1 week or silver 2, and you actually have to go out and do it, you will get it done. Stamina for a CDM, not great. Vision versus passing, what does that mean? Well, his passing is very good, but his vision is low. So in my opinion, if you want to be able to play those long balls over the top to Figo and such, you're going to need to boost the vision, and that's where the powerhouse chem style comes in, and that's why, in my opinion, it's the chem style to choose. However, if you're not worried about playing long passes or even playing any sort of pass, then you could go for a Sentinel. That would probably be my first choice if I was just strictly looking for defensive capability. Anchor is a good one because you do get a little bit of a pace boost, not that you really need it. And of course, like I said, the powerhouse for that playmaker CDM role. That's the kind of chem style I would use if you want to use him like a secondary CM or CDM, where he's got defense duties in mind and that's going to be his specific role. However, it's not his only role, if that makes sense. I really like this card. I think a lot of people will end up taking it, so you've maybe even got it already, but it is still a very good card, especially one for objectives, although I wouldn't rule it out seeing it in the odd weekend league team or even a division rivals team. Very, very good card. Definitely the one to take in my opinion. If you have enjoyed this play review, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.